First, I gotta give a disclaimer. This does not relate to me or to anybody I know specifically. This message right here is a generalization of my studies, experimentation, and observation, you know, of what is known to be a serial killer. All right? Now, one thing you got to understand is that some people are just straight out evil and they want to hurt people. They want to do malicious things. And their childhood could be a factor of that as well. But however, why would an individual have no regards for a person's life if they're not a psychopath? See, if they're a psychopath, then we understand, because psychopaths don't have consciences. Psychopaths, you know what I'm saying, don't have remorse. Psychopaths don't have empathy or sympathy or emotion, no IQ for other individuals. You know what I mean? All right. But let's just say that person not a psychopath and they do have sympathy, empathy. There was, you know what I'm saying, born with these traits, you know? How did they become a serial killer? Well, if a human being grow up and they experience that people don't have any regards for their life, then they will have a disregard for any life. You know what I mean? If you grew up and people just basically show that they don't care about you or your well-being, then as a result, you will grow up and not care about the life and well-beings of other people. Okay? Now, this one thing we got to understand is that when we look at mass killers and we look at serial killers, one thing that they have in common is that they basically terminated multiple lives. Now, we put more emphasis on the mass murderers like the Columbine shooters, you know what I mean? And people who shot up schools and shot up, you know what I'm saying, public settings like supermarkets and banks, churches, and things of that nature. When we look into the individual who do that, we always seen that they have been bullied. Okay? But however, the news don't really go too deep into serial killers, you know what I'm saying, childhood past, to see why they have done what they have done. But however, documentaries do. So if you watch documentary, you will see that one common denominator that most serial killers have is childhood abuse, whether it was physically, severely emotionally, or severely sexually. All right? That's the common denominator that a lot of them have in common, you know what I'm saying, was abuse. But however, another thing that we don't realize that there are serial killers, you know what I'm saying, in the ghettos. You know what I mean? A lot of them is gangsters, a lot of them is thugs. Basically, a serial killer if you killed a series of multiple people. So if you a person like King Von, you know what I'm saying, who got about 7 or 9 bodies, you're considered a serial killer. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? And everybody always say that, oh, why you black guys out here killing each other, all this black on black crime? I could tell you that 80 to about the low 90% of black males, you know what I'm saying, in America, never in their life killed another black male. Usually it's a collective group of black serial killers that killed the majority of black males in the ghetto community. Me being from the ghetto community, I know individuals who is doing time for multiple bodies. You know what I mean? I could name just 2 individuals who are responsible for about 20 bodies. You know what I mean? And if you hear that in the news, they all from the same area. Both of the individuals from the same area. So if you hear that in the news, oh, 20, you know what I'm saying, black males died within a week or within a month. it would seem like we all out here killing each other, but however, it's usually just a small group of African American males who are doing that. And usually they're serial killers. So now, serial killers are usually created based off their experience. One thing I can tell you is that a lot of them have been severely bullied. You know what I'm saying? Not only by, kids of their age or their peers, by society. Well, a lot of us don't know that society bullies, a certain demographic people. You know what I'm saying? When you go to certain institutions, you know what I mean? We get bullied, you know what I mean? Usually corporate institutions and things in that nature, redlining, I guess you could say that's a form of bullying, the workplace, people get targeted out and bullied. So what we got to understand is that they're bullied that take place in society. If you go into commerce, you could get bullied in commerce as well, through bad customer service, you know what I mean? Like if you in Detroit, which got a lot of serial killers, one thing that you will see about them is that they have a lot of economic bullying that take place there between the blacks and the Arabs. The Arabs, their customer service toward black people is sort of oppressive. You know what I mean? It's like that bad. The customer service is so bad that it's sort of a form of oppression, which is economic bullying. You understand? But however, a lot of them have been severely bullied to the point where it planted a seed into their mind that people don't care about them. So if you feel like people don't care about you, then what you think is going to come into your mind? You're going to have a middle finger towards people. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, F people. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming out here, you know what I'm saying? And I'm knocking shit down. You know what I mean? Don't nobody care about me. Don't nobody care about my life. Why should I care about theirs? People took from me. People oppressed me. People suppressed me. People abused me. People belittled me. You know what I mean? So basically, since I've been growing up as a kid, I'm speaking this as a third party, not particularly me. Since I grew up, you know what I'm saying, under these conditions, people basically show me that they don't give a damn about me. So now as a result, these serial killers have a resentment, you know what I'm saying, towards people based off their experience that they have towards people. So basically society, community, environments are the one that creates serial killers. And you may not be the one who was doing the bullying, but you could have had prevented the bullying. You could have stood up to the person who was bullying a person. You know what I mean? You could have had a voice against it. You could encourage the person who was being bullied to have a voice and to rise in their defense. So, you created the monster.